It's Jamie. That's me here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to yet another review of what? Real Housewives of Dubai and Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Now, girl, before we get into Beverly Hills, honey, let's go ahead and talk about Dubai because it wasn't a whole lot that took place on the episode. So let's just go ahead and run through it real quick, like, okay? So first things first, we ended up seeing Brooks and Lisa linking up with each other. And of course, they talked about Caroline Stansbury and they also talked about Nina Ali because they were shocked to see that they were so cool, considering the fact that Miss Nina was just dogging, okay, just dogging Miss Stansbury out not too long ago. And I was wondering, like, are we going to see that come up at some point later on this season? Maybe not, considering the fact that we ended up seeing Nina Ali having a conversation with Chanel, trying to talk to her about getting back on good terms with Stansbury, because at one point she couldn't stand Miss Stansbury. She said, "Girl, I couldn't stand her." All right. But I mean, she cool or whatever it is now, where I needed a little time. And so far, so good. I kind of like Miss Girl. Okay. So there's that. Brooks also felt like when it came to Ian, she says that she can't live with her. She can't live without her. Girl, they always have their ups and downs. But it seems like Brooks was trying to say that it's always going to be a little bit of love there for Chanel. But the way Miss Chanel be out here shading the girls and the way she be out here acting, it's like, you may show her some grace, but she not gonna show you none because she don't like you like that. And what I get from Chanel is when she don't like you, girl, that's just what it is. It's really gonna be very hard for her to turn back on that. All right. So once she's set in her ways, girl, she's just set in her ways, and that's just what it is. Okay. What else we ended up getting? So Caroline has rented this home, right? It looks like she's about to go out and purchase a home. Her and her boo, her fiance, her soon-to-be husband, they're about to get their house. Now she just let us know that she's been renting for a very long time. And being in Dubai, it's very hard to be, I guess, a single mom. She says that it's hard to get a divorce. It's just hard. She makes it seem like it's really hard out there. I guess for the people that really ain't got no money, girl, I guess it would be hard out there, considering the fact that she said if you're self-employed, which is very interesting, right? She says if you're self-employed, you can't get a mortgage. You're going to have to put down 30 to 40%. And I'm like, so they want you to work and slave? You can be an entrepreneur working in Dubai when you got a whole bunch of expats. So I guess you want these people to come over into your country and work for you. And as they work for you guys in actual corporations or whatever you have there for them to work in, then they're able to qualify for a mortgage based on whatever the other criteria is. But we know that according to Ms. Stansbury, if you're self-employed, then yeah, no. I just wonder how that works for the people that create businesses over there. I'm sure the standards are different for them. But anyway, girl, that was interesting to know. I didn't know that, girl. But anyway, let's keep going. Let's scoot over. All right. So we see where Brooks, Stansbury, and Sarah, they're all at her house. And of course, they speak on Chanel and her actions and how they were shocked by her actions. At least Brooks. Brooks said that she was shocked by her actions. And I'm like, are you sure? Because what we're hearing is that y'all got into it a while back. So you shouldn't be too surprised or shocked by anything Miss Girl had going on. And Sarah is thinking that, well, it may have a lot to do with her past or something. She probably got some other internal things going on. So I feel like in so many words, Sarah was saying, girl, we need to give her some grace. Let's give Miss Girl some grace. And Stansbury said, I'm not going to give her a motherfucking thing. Okay. Because one thing about it, I don't have to deal with her nor her energy. So whatever grace you think I'm going to give to her, that's DEAD. She's not getting a damn thing from me. Hello. All right. So that's where Miss Stansbury was with everything. What else we got? So Chanel and Nina ended up linking up, and that's when Chanel decides that, number one, I believe she apologized to Nina about how everything happened at her sit down gathering or whatever, right? And what was also interesting was how Chanel decided she was going to come to the lunch with her. I said, girl, not you sitting down here with a full fur on. Not you sitting down here with a full fur on, everybody else looking like they comfortable, like it's springtime. Now, granted, they had the fans blowing for sure. Maybe Miss Chanel, maybe one of those people like me, they get cold real quick, girl. So she decided to bring her fur out in the heat. But maybe that's also a normal common thing over there in Dubai, because I feel like it's much hotter over there than it is over here. Okay, but I guess she's gonna do what she want to do because she feels like she's a fashion icon and she's making a fashion statement, and everybody needs to get into her fashions. Okay, and then the shoes she had on. I mean, hey, if you could walk in them, girl, walk. I already know both of my ankles and then some would have been broke, so I wasn't even gonna try that. But either way, good luck to you, girl. What else do we have here? Nina. Nina stood up there lying, in my opinion, telling her, like, of course she wants her to give it a chance to like get to know, Stansberry a little better. But what she also says is that at the party, she asked Stansbury, girl, what happened? And Stansbury said, oh, well, I don't know. I was cool. I was cool, but then she came in here guns blazing. And I'm just like, number one, you lying, Nina, because I don't think Stansbury was cool. Everything about her attitude showed that she just was not trying to be around Miss Chanel. Also, everything in her attitude showed she wanted to continue to talk about her bachelorette party to rub it into Chanel's face because Chanel was not invited. Okay, so don't be trying to sit up there and somebody the lady was cool. And if Stansbury told you that, Stansbury was a mother lie. Okay, but anyway, girl, what else ended up taking place? So I think that's when Chanel had brought up the fact that like she said something about guns blazing. She felt like it had a lot to do with where she's from. I believe she said she's from Somalia. And then Nina said, girl, that got nothing to do with where you from. Girl, you really need to cool it down, just calm down. And then she said, but we have a lot of guns or whatever like that out there in Somalia. And then Miss Girl said, okay, and I'm from Texas, girl, we got a lot out there too. We know, honey. Girl, we know. Y'all got it out there in Texas. But anyway, so what else ended up happening? Chanel says that she felt triggered to not be invited to that event, to also hear Brooks tell her that she wasn't an important person. It triggered her and it took her back to her childhood because that's how her father made her feel, like she wasn't important, which makes sense as to why she walks around in her adulthood like she's that girl and like she's so important. And she technically a little bit does what her dad may have done to her. She does to others by SHIing on them and treating them like they're nothing and like they're worthless. So she does kind of the same energy she said her dad gave to her, she does spew that out on others. And then she also walks around like she's that girl because for so long of her life she felt like she wasn't, based on how her father treated her. Okay, so there's that. Yeah, Nina wants Chanel to give Stansbury another chance, and Miss Girl said, I don't know about that. Girl, I don't play like that. I don't know if I'm gonna be cool with that lady. Okay, right now ain't the time. All right. Now, what else we see? Later on, we can see where Lisa is in the store, Lisa Milan in the store with her baby boy with his cute self shopping, getting groceries. And then Lisa done call her phone panicking. And I'm like, Lisa, why is you calling this lady panicking about issues that really ain't yours? If these two ladies got issues, let them two ladies have issues. Why is you over here on Lisa's phone stressing out? Okay, so Lisa had to get off the phone. Lisa said, I gotta go, girl. No, ma'am, girl. I have to go. I'm gonna have to go ahead and release you, girl. Let me get you off the phone. Talking about her son was crawling out the buggy. Okay, I can't recall if he was crawling out the buggy or not. But if that, either way, she had her son with her. Okay, if that was gonna be your excuse, girl, I'm not too mad at you, girl. Get up out the situation. Period. Okay. So what else happened? Thanksgiving dinner. That's the reason why Lisa Milan was at the store, because it's around Thanksgiving time. So they are going to do the Thanksgiving meals, even though it's not like celebrated or recognized. I don't think over there in Dubai, that's more so something that's over here in America. Okay. Chanel was pretty much bringing up about the colonizers or something like that. She brought up something I didn't really understand what she was saying fully. But anyway, let's move on. Lisa is deciding to cook for her family. Okay. She's going to cook the Thanksgiving meal. She could let somebody else do it, but she wants to do it. And I don't blame her, because we can't guarantee that everybody over there in Dubai gonna know how to cook the food, how you know how to cook the food. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so she was gonna cook it. Okay. What else ended up happening? When she had the dinner, of course, Chanel ended up coming over. She gifted her a goat. And I was like, interested. One thing about Chanel not gonna go to nobody's house empty-handed. Period. She done brought somebody, I think she brought Sarah some onions, and she done brought this woman a whole goat. But I guess in her culture, bringing somebody a goat is a really big thing. Okay. It's very important. So she brought her a goat because she thinks extremely highly of Lisa Milan. She feels like Lisa always got her back if ain't nobody else got her back. So she loves her some Lisa. Okay. So Ayan kind of goes into a story talking about, oh no, that was a later time. So before we get to her talking to Sarah, what did they talk? Oh, she talked about the Caroline Stearnsberg situation. She talked about Nina. She talked about all of that with with Lisa, and she was saying, you understand, like you would be a person that understand that now it's not a good time for me and Stansbury to have a conversation. And she's disappointed in Nina because she feels like, Nina, you know me better than you know Stansbury. So why are you sitting over there standing on her side of the fence? Why didn't you defend me? She's feeling a way about her good girl choosing the side of her op at this time. And she's not open to having a conversation with Stansbury at all. She needs more time. So we'll see how this gonna play out. They're gonna have to see each other. Y'all in a group of ladies, y'all gonna be forced to see each other. It's just what it is, okay? Now, later on, we see where, what's her name? Ayan and Sarah, they ended up linking up. All right. She gifted her the onions and they sat out and they really just used this time to get to know each other better because they really didn't know each other like that for real, for real. And that's when what's her name? Miss Sarah kind of opened up more about her family, and her dad was telling her, you know, they always thought she was going to end up being like a very important person. Like at the age of 5, she talked about how she used to, I guess, get candy or whatever and sell it to her friends and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's neat. I used to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I was a little older. I probably was like 10, girl. And I used to do the same. I used to sell all kind of stuff, but that's a whole other story time because, girl, I ain't gonna lie, girl, I was politely taking the items from the elementary school, girl. I was taking the items, girl. When I would go up there and buy my little stuff, I wouldn't buy one pencil, girl. I would buy maybe one pencil, but I'll grab about 5 of them, and then I'll come back and sell them to the people in the classroom, girl. I was a mess, girl. I was a mess, honey. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, this is when Chanel decides to give her story and talk about her dad, talk about her background, things that may have triggered her when it came down to not being included, okay, in the sit down with the late, or not the sit down, but the bachelorette party of Stansbury. She talked about how her dad ended up abandoning them when they were younger. At first, he gave them everything, and then next thing you know, he just left. From my understanding, that's what it sounded like. He just left, and it forced her at a very young age, at the age of 10, to start doing things for her mom, like getting up early in the morning and start, like, you know, just doing for helping her mom out. She says that when it comes to her dad, she hasn't talked to her dad in 26 years. It's some things that she can't forgive him about. The girl was asking, do you think you'll ever forgive your dad? She said, no, I'll never forgive him because he tried to marry her off at the age of 14. Her dad came to the house, wanted to pick her up, wanted her to hang out with him. And her sister told her, like, girl, you better not go. And it was all because her dad was trying to get her to come with him so that he could marry her off to just whoever. Like, what kind of stuff is that? Now, she also says that when she was 7 years old, I guess she must have done something in the water or whatever the case was. Moral of the story that I grabbed from that was that at the age of 7, her dad tied her to a tree. Whew, he was just out here running amok and getting away with all kind of stuff, wasn't he? And she just talked about how he beat her, how abusive he was, just like a terrible dad, okay? Just a terrible dad. And it's just some things that she has yet to forgiving him for. And she's not open to have a conversation, see him, or none of that. And I can't say that I blame her, okay? Because it seemed like he took a lot of hurt out on her. I don't know the experiences of the other family, but for her, it's like, girl, that man was motherfucking crazy, and I don't blame you, and I probably would not have forgiven him either. Go away from me with this. Thank you. So what Sarah decides to do is suggest that she sees her hypnotherapist. And I'm kind of like, yeah, she can see the hypnotherapist. We'll see how helpful she's going to be. But I don't know. I feel like this is some deep, deep rooted, like she's going to have to see that lady for a very long time. Very long time. Okay. I think she has some deep issues. Okay. Dating back years ago that she has yet to deal with, for real, for real. So it's gonna take some time for her to get back to who she needs to be. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it was a cute little episode, I suppose. It didn't give a whole lot in my opinion, but it's all good because we about to switch over and talk about my girls, so Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, ain't it? Ooh, let's talk. Okay. All I can think about is she got money. Come on, Garcelle decided to bought her with a beachfront house. Okay, a beach house, whatever you want to call it. She's about to renovate it, get it all set up, and she wants to have this as something that she can leave toward, leave for her kids. Okay, and let me tell y'all something. We see what you did there, Miss Garcelle. Garcelle, you done kicked it up real high on the show. You done kicked it up real high, Belle, because you knew that the Real was going to get canceled, huh? You knew that, and you needed to kick things up in high gear so that you can arrive and be active. Okay. Because if ain't nobody getting to it, you getting to it. You and Kyle, to be honest, is really getting to the mess. And I ain't gonna lie, I really don't like to see it, Garcelle. I really don't. I really don't like to see it. See, at one point you felt last season as an outsider and that you were not a part of the cool girls clique. Okay, Miss Erica, Kyle, Miss Lisa, and Dorit. See, you didn't feel like you were a part of that cool girl clique, but I guess you just got, inducted as the fifth member, which is why you're going so hard at Miss Crystal right now. And for me, I just can't, I don't understand what the huge deal is. You know what I'm saying? People are saying that, Crystal, you're over here leaving things open ended. You're insinuating that Sutton was a racist or whatever the case. I don't think Crystal did that. We all watched the show last season to see how out of touch Sutton was when it comes to conversations of race. Let's stop. Okay. And if that was Crystal's experience of feeling like girl, it was dark, then it was what it was. Now, girl, we'll talk. Let's get into the episode, honey. Let's get into the episode. Okay. So Dorit and Erica talk because PK decided that with everything that Dorit has been through, he wants to send all of the ladies on a girls trip so she can get away and kind of start getting back to normal. So that's going to happen. Okay. Kyle and Crystal ended up having a conversation, girl. Ooh, this was interesting because Crystal tells Garcelle that having that conversation is pretty hard for her. Okay, so it seemed like she didn't really want to talk about it, like go into details about anything. Having that conversation was hard for her, but I don't know. Let's keep going. So Kyle tells her that she brought up something from a year ago, then tells her that she threw Sutton under the bus trying to defend herself, I guess, to Garcelle. When she was trying to defend herself to Garcelle, she ended up throwing Sutton under the bus by leaving this thing open-ended. And I don't feel like that's throwing Sutton under the bus. I feel like she just thought and felt like what ended up happening, the conversations were very dark. It doesn't mean it has to be so dark that she was a racist or whatever the case may be. It's just that it was dark for her because maybe Sutton wasn't getting her point. Maybe Sutton still wasn't understanding. So, I don't know. I just feel like people are putting 20 on 10. Okay. So Crystal says that she isn't going to repeat it. Like, listen, Kyle, you can do whatever it is you want to do, girl. You can go march on whatever streets you want to march on and understand that I'm still not going to say what it is that Sutton said. Okay. So Kyle tells her that, well, if that's the case, then you shouldn't have brought it up. I really appreciated I'll give it to Kyle. I appreciated the honest conversation that was happening back and forth. And Kyle not sugarcoating how she was feeling in that moment and calling Crystal out, and then Crystal giving her pushback or whatever the case was. And then at the end of the day, they're able to, chuckle about it for some reason. I don't know. Because any other time, just be seeing Kyle that's fakey, fake. But I appreciated this scene for some reason. So then, Kyle tells her that she shouldn't have brought it up and tells her that it's dangerous. And to be honest, I feel like you're gaslighting the situation. And I was like, I don't know. Is she gaslighting the situation? I didn't really see that Crystal was gaslighting the situation. I feel like y'all was gaslighting her because she was trying to express to y'all how y'all operate when it comes to people's feelings. And Garcelle kind of did it a little bit with Erica, whether we felt like it was right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? If a person is telling you that's how they experience something and that's how they feel, and then you try to tell them, no, that's not what it is, those are two different things, it's like, well, I kind of feel like that's what you're doing. So if this the case, then everybody, the whole damn cast is gaslighting at this point. So Crystal tells her to be careful. Like, baby, you may want to be careful with using that word gaslighting with me because I don't play that. Okay. And then Cal say, oh, so are we going to get dramatic with it? Is that what we're going to do? And then Crystal says, no, we're not going to get dramatic, but I'm just asking you to, give me a pass on this. Kind of like how y'all wanted me to give Sutton the pass last season when she said some ignorant SHI and y'all wanted me to just let it go. And then now what y'all trying to do, because last season y'all wanted me to let it go because y'all didn't want to bring that racism and stuff like that into y'all franchise. So then this year y'all pressing me to clear it up because y'all don't want to make it seem like the undertones is that she's a racist. So that's what that really is, where y'all just want me to clear it up because of that. But I didn't insinuate that. That's what y'all insinuated. Just because I didn't say what it was that she said, just know that it was dark for me. Okay. It was a dark experience. It was dark for me. It was what it was. Okay. I didn't like being in that space with her. So yeah. But anyway, girl, let's keep going. So Crystal, when Crystal asked her to give her a pass, Kyle said, okay, that's fine. But what I'm going to ask you to do is not be passive aggressive moving forward. Okay. All right. So yeah, we going to see when you stop doing that, girl, I'll stop doing me. When you stop doing that, I'll stop doing me. Okay. So we'll see, girl. I don't know. I'm not featuring it. I'm not featuring Kyle and Garcelle and the pressure that they put on Crystal, but it's just me, okay? And I know a lot of y'all finna, have a difference of opinion than me because that's just how y'all is. But make sure you leave it down in the comments, okay? So Garcelle and Sutton tells Garcelle about a sit down with Crystal and their talk about race, okay? So she tells her about that sit down, whatever that involved, and then Garcelle says she doesn't know why Sutton is taking things so lightly. She's taking things lightly because this is a good friend of hers now. They have talked, they have reconciled, they are pushing forward, they are moving forward. Okay. Just because y'all chose to not accept Crystal's overall point and zone in on this piece, even though she said it, and if she would have never said it, it would have been nothing for them to talk about. However, y'all overlooked the overall point of what she was trying to make of how y'all flip-flop with emotions and feelings about people, or people being in their feelings depending on who that person is. Y'all wanted to focus and zone in on this, okay? Yeah. So Garcelle doesn't know why she's taking things so lightly, and it's like she's moved on from it. Y'all the ones that's still in it, because somebody amongst this group is not a fan of Crystal. And I feel like Garcelle also, you may not be over how that situation happened with Sutton and Crystal last year. And even though Sutton is over it, you're not. So you're trying to make sure that you keep the division between the two. I don't know, but I'm just telling y'all how it's coming off to me. All right. So Garcelle doesn't know why she's taking things so lightly and still wants to know what Sutton said that caused Crystal to believe that it was dark. What was said, and in some part, it's starting to get like, why she need to say what was said if y'all are going to insinuate what the fuck was said anyway? So why she need to tell y'all what she said? Then you gonna think what you want to think anyway, and even if she tell you what it is, you gonna downplay it or whatever the case, or you're gonna overhype it. Either way, it's gonna be a very uncomfortable situation for Crystal, because right now the focus is for everybody to jump on Crystal. Okay, let's keep going. All right. So they do the girls trip. Of course, they speak on Crystal feeling like the ladies were hypocritical for not validating her feelings last year. I feel like they were hypocritical. If y'all stand up there, if she's telling y'all how she's experiencing things as a woman of color, and y'all tell her to give Sutton a pass, like that's not adding up. And then when Sutton comes in and Sutton's being a bit insensitive towards Dorit, y'all not telling Dorit to give Sutton a pass. Like, come on now. Come on, like, why, like, what? See, last year is, oh, that's just how Sutton is, but this year it's not. That's just how Sutton is. Now Sutton should be overly understanding and sensitive to what Dorit got going on, when half of America don't even believe everything that happened to Dorit. Like, are you making sense? Like, I see what Crystal is saying. Like, no, y'all are hypocritical. Y'all is fake as hell. Okay, see, I wasn't y'all good girl last year, but Sutton was. Right? So y'all teamed up with Sutton, but then now this year, when it comes to Sutton and Dorit, y'all definitely team Dorit, period. Right? So you're not willing to give Sutton the pass. And I'm trying to understand how the conversation went to being about Sutton and her actions towards Dorit. And then even though Crystal brought up how she was feeling, y'all completely flipped the entire script and put it off on Crystal, and making it seem like Crystal is the problem and Crystal is insinuating some things. Wow. When Kyle, you was just insinuating how Sutton was sitting, how she was feeling when she was sitting at your house, just assuming that she didn't give a damn about what was going on with Dorit. And then you ran and made that a situation. Like, girl, bye. What else happened? Let's see. Okay, Sutton says that she doesn't want to be misconstrued, and she also wants people to know that her and her family are very, very, very loving people, period. Okay, so she doesn't want any untruths to be told about her, right? So Crystal says that she was uncomfortable with what was said, but they moved on. Sutton says, yes, that's the thing. It's old, right? It's old. It's an old thing. So why are you bringing it up now if it's so old? And Crystal says, I didn't bring it up. Sutton said, yes, you did. And I was like, Crystal, yes, you did. Nobody brought that up but you. You brought that up because you could not properly explain yourself to the ladies. Okay, let's be honest. You could not properly explain yourself to the ladies. So you felt like, saying, oh, it was a very dark situation would have been enough for them to understand where you were coming from. emotionally, and they still missed the mark on that, just like they did last year. And what they did was they focused on what you had to say about Sutton instead. Girl, okay, it's giving deflection for me. Okay, now Crystal, Crystal said she was uncomfortable, said she brought it up, whatever. So Sutton tells Crystal that she has tried to assassinate her character for the second time. I feel like the first time she may have done it was intentional, but also it was because that's how you were coming across. This second time, I don't think that it was intentional at all. If anything, which is the gag for me, Crystal was trying to have Sutton's back. Crystal was trying to have Sutton's back initially when she was like, you guys are so hypocritical. Like, I'm not understanding. Just last year, y'all wanted me to give Sutton the pass. Now this year, y'all don't even want to give Sutton the pass. She was trying to come from an angle of having Sutton's back, but the ladies flipped all of that. Okay, including Garcelle's as well. And Garcelle, I'm enjoying a little bit of the energy that you're presenting, especially when you're going to get Erica together. I wish you would have had this same energy for Dorit. Okay, but I see you over there making good Judies with certain ones. So, okay, girl. What else we got? So Garcelle tells her they're not okay. So Erica said, that's funny because I was experiencing the same thing last season. When Sutton was saying this and Sutton was saying that. Like, I was experiencing the same thing. I was a bit uncomfortable with the conversations and stuff. And then Garcelle said, Erica, that's not the same situation. Scoop back, Garcelle. Even if it wasn't the same situation, she's just telling you how she feel. And this is another example of how y'all just tell people, no, that's not what it was. Like, no, the same way y'all just did Crystal. No, that's not the same thing. You can't compare last year to now, Crystal. No, you can't. And since I don't understand what you're saying, I'm going to zone in on what I think you're saying. And we're going to carry that narrative on for the rest of the few episodes or the season if we can. Okay. And for you, Erica, understand that your thing is different too. It's not the same thing. Like, sit back. Garcelle says that Crystal is assassinating her character or whatever. Like, calm down. This woman was not. Y'all are assassinating her character with the assumptions that y'all are making. All she said was that the conversation was dark. Anybody that saw last season saw how problematic what Sutton was saying was problematic. Like, come on now. So if she felt like that was a dark space for her, then yeah. It is what it is. Maybe she used the wrong term, but it damn sure was an uncomfortable situation for her. Okay. But let's keep going. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, y'all gonna feel how y'all want to feel, girl. Feel it. So Crystal wants them to stop invalidating her experience. Kyle says, no, but you brought it up. You said it, and you said it was something that she could be canceled for. Now, Kyle, I did not hear this lady say it was something she could be canceled for. I did not hear that. We heard that's what you said out your mouth. Now, unless they edited something, I did not see that come out Crystal mouth saying that it was something that this woman could be canceled for. This was something that you put 20 on 10. This was something that you hyped up, and this was something you was trying to create some BS with. That's all you, Kyle. No, ma'am. That's all you. You know what you're doing. Okay. So Erica says, oh, so what? So basically what it is, no, Sutton says that she doesn't want any insinuation about her character. So Erica says, oh, so what you're saying is you don't want anybody to just insinuate that you're a racist. Is that what you're saying? Okay. And then they want Crystal to say what was said, and Crystal said she won't. And then Erica's like, but that's the point. Like, you need to say what you said, because then when you leave it open-ended like that, it allows people to create their own thoughts, their own narratives of what they think the situation could have been and what she could have said. And it's like, y'all can insinuate all you want, but you don't have the facts to really know. Like, then that's y'all fault. That's y'all fault if y'all insinuate that. But anyway, so Crystal says, no. So Sutton is pissed, okay, as Lisa Rinna instigates. Okay, girl, not your mama just passed away and you over here instigating. Girl, Lisa, one thing about it, she ain't gonna change. You hear me? She not gonna change, girl. Sutton is sold on saying nothing. Sutton was sold on saying that I said nothing wrong, okay, and it's not fair. You hear me? I didn't say anything wrong, and it's not fair, Crystal. And I'm just like, Sutton, how you know you didn't say anything wrong, girl? How do you know that? You probably thought you was in the right, okay? But it was a lot of tweets last year that said that your ass was wrong, ma'am. I didn't say anything wrong. I didn't say anything wrong. So then this is what we find out. Hold on, wait a second. Because that's what Crystal said. Well, I didn't bring it up. And Sutton said, yes, you did. You did. You did. Okay. She tells her, listen, that's something that you do. That's something that you do. You talk about your friends. Okay. And I'm very privy to the information. You talk about your friends, and I know. And see, I'm telling you this because I like you. Okay. I like you, but you're not going to sit up here and continue to assassinate my character. You understand? Girl, you better watch your back. Okay. All right. Get it together. So I was like, okay, sir. Something was putting her balls on the table or whatnot, but I wish she would have put her balls on the table more to tell the ladies to let the shit go when she was done with it the last time. I wish she would have put them balls on the table to tell y'all whatever the situation was, whatever I've said in my past, whatever the case is. Crystal and I are on one accord, and I'm sure how she feels in this moment is not how she felt last season, whatever the case may be. Whoop de whoop de whoop. I would appreciate it if y'all stopped talking about it. So that's when you should have put your balls on the table, because I don't think that lady was insinuating that about you. All right. So let's move on, and y'all move past that. Like, girl, if y'all, Garcelle and others, if y'all didn't want them to be friends, then just say that, girl. Okay, putting 20 on 10 because she said it was a dark moment, and all she doing is trying to explain some stuff. And out of everything she was trying to tell y'all took that little piece and made it a thing instead of the overall situation of how y'all made her uncomfortable in her own feelings. Okay. Girl, I cannot. And y'all hypocritical as fuck, because they are. And it's so funny to see Garcelle sitting up there acting the way that she act when you was just on the same tip last year. But anyway, y'all carry on with whatever train y'all on, girl. So Crystal wants them to move on, but Kyle doesn't really want to move on. Hold up. I said I feel bad for Crystal because although she did bring it up, they are treating her like the oddball out. I don't know if you guys have ever been on group trips and just feel like at some point you can't relate. There may be inside jokes that you don't get or something like that. You may just feel awkward and odd, like you don't fit in. Like that's what it was giving for Crystal. And I felt like y'all was gaslighting her and y'all was low-key bullying her over a situation that's not attached to y'all. And y'all were doing this thing where you're forcing her to feel a certain way about some stuff. You're forcing Sutton to feel away or feel upset about something that y'all don't even have all the information on. Like, I mean, and she's not going to give you the information, so it is what it is. It should have died then. But anyway, so Crystal wants them to move on, but Kyle doesn't want to. Sutton says that she spoke on her kids having all kinds of friends, basically Asians, Mexicans, Black, whatever it was she told Crystal about. And that's what they're using as the moment to say that Crystal felt as though that was a dark moment. Now, Crystal never told us what that dark moment was, but she definitely left the room open for Sutton to say what she felt the dark moment was, whatever the case may be, because Crystal says she's not going to repeat it. Now, if that is indeed what it is, then Crystal, to me, I do not think that that was a dark moment for her to just tell you that she's tried to raise her children in a space where they have multicultural friendships. All right. So I don't think that was that big of a deal to me. But when y'all was in that room and she wasn't understanding you and she wasn't letting you talk or whatever, and I think that was when Kyle was in there, then yeah, that was a dark moment. That was problematic as fuck. And I didn't like that because it showed to me that at the time Sutton was not willing to understand. Okay. And then when Crystal also was telling them the story last week, and she ended up mentioning, the situation with Sutton, I feel like she was speaking from a place of her past, not a place of how she feels about Sutton right now. But y'all did a whole lot. So girl, I can't. Let's move on. So Crystal made it seem like, no, yeah, I talked about that. So I got this one note saying that everybody is saying Crystal is full of SHI, and I think it could have been some tweets that I saw on Twitter, and I just disagree. I feel like the people that are full of shit to me is going to be Kyle, for sure, always. And then it's going to be Garcelle because she's tap dancing in some shit. She may not be full of it, but she definitely tap dancing in it for sure. But those are my thoughts. I'm gonna let you guys leave your thoughts and comments down below, honey. That is all that I have on Real Housewives of Dubai, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, honey. Go ahead and like the video, leave your comments below. If you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and do so. All right. You're also welcome to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at jamithatsme, honey. And that's all I got. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.